Talking Shirts is presented in partnership with White Oak Cottage. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Hello, welcome to episode number 139 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike of Hull KR Shirts, and today we're going to take a look at this 2012 home shirt, which was issued to Michael Dobson. Now, before we get started, I do need to do a little bit of a shout out, a thank you, and that's to Joanne Kay. She very kindly donated this shirt into the Hull KR Shirts collection. Me and Joe go way back. I used to go to school with her daughter and the lads, so it was really nice when she offered to donate the shirt into the collection. Dobson, obviously a fantastic player, and there's a uniquity around this shirt as well, which I will go into detail over now. So this is definitely a player issue shirt. Everything about it is completely in line with what you would expect of the player spec shirts. It's definitely not a replica, but it does have a little bit of an addition that you wouldn't necessarily expect. So we've got a little bit of game detailing on here. It's been quite sort of heavy duty in terms of its embroidery. They've actually embroidered some white stitching into there, which I found a little bit strange. You know, the red would have stood out on the white perfectly well enough anyway. But on here it says 100 appearances, Hull KR v Leeds Rhinos, and then it says the 3rd of the 2nd, 12. Now that was the date for Michael Dobson's 100th appearance for Hull KR. Now I've had a little look, and of the imagery that I've been able to source, can't actually see Dobbo wearing this shirt. So I believe it probably was done to maybe commemorate Dobbo after the fact, rather than it being done for the game. So yeah, just a little bit of a uniquity there. The shirt itself, as you can see, it's an all-white shirt, nice red band going through the middle. One of the nicest looking home shirts that we've had, in my opinion. This one, along with the 2017 home and the 2024 home, for me, are just very, very well done in terms of executing a white shirt with a red band. I think that was done so well across these shirts. The one sort of downside on the front is this KMS Energy sponsorship. The fact that that features in a lime green colour on the white, it really stands out, which I think is great for them, but not great for the aesthetics of the shirt for somebody that's so passionate about kit design as what I am. The 2012 home shirt, it was manufactured by Berda Sports. This is their logo that features right in the middle of the shirt there, something that we've become quite accustomed to with our shirts, because we often carry another sponsor on the chest there, which we have in this one, which is D-Signs. Again, I think even to the present day, these guys still have an involvement within the club. They sponsor a lot of the training wear, and I believe they do quite a lot of the graphics around Craven Park and beyond as well. Higher Base, you may remember, in the last episode 138 of Talking Shirts, we spoke about Higher Base being a sponsor on the reverse at the bottom. The wear a front of shirt sponsor, as I pointed out, and this is when there was, back in 2012. And then we've got some sort of stitched piping, which is just kind of design elements. We've got the band that goes across the bottom, and then this wave, which just separates the sponsors at the top to the one on the main body of the shirt there. Really, really nice touch. So in 2012, there wasn't actually a sponsor on the sleeve here, apart from the Builder Base, which is a sister company of Higher Base. That's been dye sublimated in, but there wasn't any heat applied elements to this sleeve at all. There is a little bit of a marking on here from something or somewhere at some point. And then we have got this red sort of cuff that just sort of finishes it off nicely. Now, another reason why I'm not quite sure this shirt will have actually been worn is because it doesn't have the Heinz Big Soup heat applied patch on here. Now, the Super League didn't really have a sponsor in the 2012 season, especially as early on as this. And on some of these shirts, they did apply a big green patch, which I'll pop a picture up for you so you can see what one looks like. They did heat apply a patch on here. This one obviously doesn't have that on. It just has the Jackson Building Centres sponsorship, which has been dye sublimated in at the top there. So yeah, it's that again, another reason why I feel like this shirt was probably just match issued and not match worn. So that's been the front and the sides. Before we go around and have a little look at the back and talk a little bit about Michael Dobson, here is a quick word from our sponsor.
White Oak Cottage is a 2-bedroom luxury holiday cottage set in the stunning Lincolnshire Wolds. It has 2 ensuite bedrooms, a hot tub, wood burner, Wi-Fi, electric vehicle charger, and is pet friendly. It is ideally situated in the Wolds, yet only 15 miles from the coast and 25 miles from the historic city of Lincoln. For more information, visit whiteoakcottage.co.uk.
Welcome back to episode number 139 of Talking Shirts. Before the break, we was talking our way around this 2012 home shirt that was match issued to Michael Dobson. So now we are going to continue with the reverse. So at the back of the shirt, we've spoken about this so much, but the band that doesn't continue all the way around, it would obstruct the name and the number. That's against the RFL ruling. So a lot of the design elements that continue on the front of shirts, if they do have to go around to the back, they do normally break up and create what I would call a name and number block. We've got East Yorkshire Shutters, Hobson and Porter and Hull College. All of these sponsors appear in their natural colourways on the back of the shirt. You kind of get away with it a little bit more because it's on the back. However, it still obviously does affect the aesthetics of the shirt. I'm being really greedy now because some of the design elements that we've seen in the sort of early 2020s where sponsors have been really on board with changing the colour of their logo to sort of positively affect what our shirts look like. When you sometimes see these, it is a little bit jarring in terms of branding and sponsorship appearing on the back of the shirt, but I do fully understand why a sponsor would do that and why they would want it in their natural colourway. It's not necessarily knocking these guys, it's more just about complimenting guys who allow their branding to be changed. This is an era back in 2012 where they may not have even been approached about changing the colour of their branding. So, like I say, it's more just a circumstantial thing than it is pointing the finger and sort of blaming anybody. As you can see, we've got Dobson and the number 7 on the back of here. These have been heat applied to the back of the shirt, as you would expect with all sort of player shirts that we've had in the Hull KR era. As you can see, we have got a little bit of an inscription here from Dobbo to Joanne, Go Rovers, and then signed by Michael Dobson. As I said in part 1, this shirt was donated into the collection by Joanne K. So again, Joe, thank you so much for choosing me as the new home for the shirt. I really do appreciate that. So let's have a little bit of a word about Michael Dobson. Where to start? Dobbo made 153 appearances for Hull KR during his spell, which did end at the end of the 2013 season. He made his debut all the way back midway through that 2008 season, and that's a shirt that I actually have within my collection, the shirt that he wore in his debut game back in 2008. So yeah, it's wonderful to be able to add another shirt or issued to, in this case, Michael Dobson, into the collection. During that time, he scored 53 tries, 537 goals, 12 drop goals, and if you add all of that together, that's 1,298 points that this man contributed to Hull KR. He goes down as one of the modern day greats, in my opinion. I know people will say that he never won anything as a player whilst playing for Hull KR in terms of major trophies or anything, but he did sort of regularly feature within the dream team, and his partnership with Blake Green during 2011 was an absolutely wonderful sort of sign. We didn't see him on the pitch enough during 2012, but obviously that did see Blake move on to the Wigan Warriors, and we know what happened after that. He just won everything. So yeah, as a partnership, those two guys were absolutely fantastic to be able to watch, even if it was just for a sort of small pocket of time within Hull KR's history. To say that they played together and we was able to watch them play together, for me, is an absolutely wonderful thing to sort of think back to and to remember about. So yeah, that's been the this 2012 Hull KR home shirt. It's been specially embroidered for Michael Dobson's 100th Hull KR appearance. So yeah, a really nice shirt. And again, Joe, thank you so much for donating the shirt to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So that's everything for episode number 139 of Talking Shirts. In a couple of weeks, we'll be back with episode number 140. And if you remember back to what I did for episode number 135, you should probably know what's coming next. See you all in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.